Hello, this is Gaku. Welcome to the War Room. I'll be talking about the ranked game, which will be taking place in about 12 hours. A few different things to talk about here. First, the elephant in the room is the current crisis. Germany is trying to release India, all of its core provinces, from the UK. It's currently backed by USA, Russia, myself, and Italy. The only two who are unaligned right now are France and the Ottomans. UK has stated that they are committed to fighting against the release of India, and most of the people currently backing Germany, including myself, simply joined in order to get some free prestige. At least that's what we thought when this whole crisis started. But since then, things have changed a little bit. So, UK has stated that they will be fighting the release of India, and for that reason, most of us will be staying out of this war. Should it go into a war, a full-blown war. Whatever France decides to do remains to be seen. Ottomans has decided to stay put. So if UK loses, which is very likely if this goes to war, at least if anyone helps Germany, UK would be losing all of India, which is a ton of population. They'd be losing a lot of potential troops and whatnot. It would also mean they'd be less useful to anyone as an ally, although they still have naval bases all around the world. So two possibilities here, and in one case France might back UK and then help them out, but again it depends on who is actually committed to fighting against the UK, and at this point that's pretty much up in the air, but the assumption everyone would have to make is that India is going to be released, and once that happens it's very likely we'll have the scramble for India, where everyone's going to come over and try and take land off of India. Now, other deals that have been set before or between sessions haven't been a whole lot of treaties this time around, because I think most everyone is fed up with treaties from the forums, and everyone's seen just how badly things can go if you sign a treaty that is not in your favor. But Spain is being taken over by a new player. That player took over last week and has continued through. So the original player, who was allied with France and Italy, is now gone. Spain is now trying to stay neutral, which is great for me. I also support Spain in that as well. So Spain will very likely be going after Portugal, and that mostly depends on whether France and Germany will let them do that. Germany and Ottoman Empire, both of my neighbors and allies, will be gone this next session. Germany will be taken over by a sub. Ottoman Empire will hopefully be a sub, and they should both have instructions on what to do next. And for the most part, it just involves maintaining the current alliances and not getting into any major problems that the actual controller can't handle later. So I'm guessing Spain is going to be free to do whatever they want to. And since Portugal is in Germany's sphere, it all comes down to whether Spain is allowed to do whatever it wants to do by Germany. I'm not sure how important Portugal is to Germany's plans, but my assumption is that they're fairly low importance. So what else? So in exchange for friendly relations with Spain, Spanish Cambodia is being transferred to Austria-Hungary. They don't lose a whole lot. It's only 40,000 in grain, but hey, looks nicer as far as the map goes. I've got low infamy. I've got a lot of things I could do. Of course, I now have cores on Italy, but Italy is a very tough nut to crack, and that's not something I'm looking to do this next session. However, also note that I have a bunch of land that has Italian cores on it, so I have to maintain my defenses here at all times, because Italy can declare war on me for any reason they feel like at any time and just be a constant pain in my side. Let's see, other potential targets, easy targets anyway, kind of depends on who's willing to stick up for their allies. So for the UK, maybe Egypt would be an easy target. There's Mexican Oman here, which is also in the English sphere, and it remains to be seen whether they're going to defend Mexico at all, since signing the Treaty of Boston with the USA. I believe this part of Canada is being returned to Canada, and New England is being returned to the US as part of, you might have seen the debacle regarding Jamaica, which now has over 1 million pops. So rather than not giving back the 1 million pops and being in default of that treaty, UK came up with a separate term that would qualify, which is this part of Canada goes back to Canada, and this goes back to USA, and everyone except Mexico is happy. Gran Colombia not making any moves, fairly weak. Chile is a player, also not making any moves. Very, very low military power. I'm surprised at how low this is, only 2 units. Brazil not doing a whole lot. I'm not sure why. They have no infamy, but they're not using it for any real purpose. Bolivia is there, just not doing anything. I'm not sure why no one's taken over that. I guess everyone's afraid of the UK, but they shouldn't be at this point. Japan has taken Borneo, so Japan's expanding slightly, but it appears to be a bit of a stalemate between Japan and Russia. I don't think either one is going to try and push into the other. Down here, Netherlands is in a very weak position. They've got a lot of land and not a whole lot of units to cover it, so that could be a problem for them. UK has a total of 83 units right now, which is a lot less than I thought. I'm guessing a lot of their units have rebelled recently because they have some, I believe these are communists. Yeah, communist rebels all over the place, so chances are some of their troops rebelled as well, and that's why they don't have quite as many units as they probably should. No Indian nationalists yet. We'll see what happens there. Otherwise, I'm not too concerned. Colonization is finished, so I lost in that. AI Scandinavia screwed me over in the one place I could have actually gotten some land, and France didn't let me have anything over here, so not surprised, but it could have gone better, I guess. Unfortunately, I wasn't ready for colonization thanks to the war with Italy, so I was a bit behind on getting enough colonial points. Let's see, over here we got Netherlands, Portugal, and Persia. Persia is in the Russian sphere, allied with France, Japan, and Ottomans. Ottomans allied with me in Persia. I'm allied with Germany, and Germany may or may not be allied with the United Kingdom. And on the other side there's Italy and France. Russia somewhat supporting Italy and France depending on who's attacking, and Spain trying to stay neutral. Scandinavia's made very minor moves this entire game, so I don't see very much coming from them. USA, Gurin is obviously the nation to beat. Whether or not UK loses India, India is nowhere near as much of a threat as USA, so it just depends on who the USA can get to support them. But honestly, at this point, I think they can just go on their own and do whatever they feel like. Even if all the world ganged up on them, it would still be a very tough battle at this point. They've got 332 brigades right now, which, if it's not number 2, it's got to be pretty close. Let's take a look down the rosters. 83. Germany's got 320. France has 260. Russia has 302. Yeah, so I think USA's got more than everyone but China right now. China is not westernized, still fragmented. Hopefully it'll stay that way for a while. And Japan, still a little bit weak, but they're industrializing and working their way up. They'll probably be a great power within 5 or 10 years. Alright, so that's the state of the game. A few other things I can't reveal just yet, but I'll put that in a separate video which will go live just after the session starts, or maybe an hour after the session starts. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.